Hi, welcome to the self-care presentation. My name is Maria Ramirez, and I am a community mental health promoter with the Community Mental Health Promotions Program with Riverside, San Bernardino County Indian Health Behavioral Health Department. What is self-care? Self-care means taking time and responsibility for oneself. Taking time out for yourself every day, even if it's just 15 minutes. Take a quiet minute, take some meditation time, just take a minute for yourself. Exercising and eating healthy, making sure you're drinking plenty of water and eating lots of fruits and vegetables. Getting enough sleep every night, turning the TV off, putting the phone down, and just going to sleep at a decent hour is considered self-care. Taking time to decompress. When you clock out from work for the day, leave work at work, and when you go home, enjoy your evening with your family. And enjoy your hobbies, whether you bake, whether you craft, or you paint. Make sure you enjoy what you do. What is the importance of self-care? Self-care gives us a happier and more positive outlook. It keeps us grounded, it keeps us happy, it keeps us looking at the positive side of everything. We become more productive and we get more of our day done rather than sitting here and feeling sad or exhausted. And when we self-care, we avoid burnout. So what is burnout? Burnout is a physical or mental collapse caused by overwork or stress. Sometimes we take on too much work or we have too much stress and we become physically or mentally exhausted, or sometimes both. So what can cause burnout? Burnout can be caused by frail personal boundaries. This means maybe not learning to say no, um, not learning to know what you're worth, your time. Maybe you're having financial issues, you're struggling to pay your bills, or you're struggling to keep up on your bills. You have chronic personal struggles. Maybe you're suffering from a physical illness, or you're caring for somebody who's suffering a physical illness. That can cause a lot of stress and a lot of strain on our bodies. Or maybe we're going through a change. There's new beginnings that are sometimes hard for people to adapt to. We're dealing with losses, whether it be a loved one or even financial losses. During the pandemic, we've heard of a lot of people that have lost their jobs or they've lost their childcare. This has been a definite struggle. Struggles are something that we stress about all the time, and we need to learn how to deal with them easier. So how do we recognize when we are suffering from burnout? This can be a physical, emotional, or mental exhaustion. Our bodies can be physically tired, our brain can be mentally and emotionally exhausted, where we just cannot think anymore. Maybe we're, constantly snapping at our kids or our loved ones. This is when we know that we're starting to feel a little burnt out. Believing your work doesn't have meaning. You're getting through your day, you're finishing your assignments, but you just feel like nobody sees the work that you're doing. And so therefore, why should you complete your next assignment? Maybe having low energy, just feeling overall tired, or persistent negative attitude. somebody who just doesn't see the brighter side of things, constantly a downer, just doesn't have, a good attitude about anything, is persistent negative attitude. So how does burnout affect our mental health? Burnout can cause excessive stress, irritability, fatigue, and insomnia. Like I mentioned earlier, irritability can be when we're snapping at our loved ones, um, just lashing out at them. Fatigue, where we're just so exhausted that it's hard for us to keep our eyes open. Or even the exact opposite, which is insomnia. Sometimes we have so much on our minds, and when it's time for bed, we lay there, our bodies are physically tired, but as soon as we lay down, our minds continue to race. And so we toss and turn, and we just cannot sleep at all. This is called insomnia. So how do we reduce our stress levels? We reach out to people. We talk to people that we trust. We go to see our counselors or our therapists, somebody who has a professional background that can help us with grounding activities and techniques. Making a list of projects that you can definitely complete. Maybe you're needing to change a light bulb that went out, you need to sort through mail, or you need to return some phone calls. Make a list that you know that is easy for you to complete at first, and then you can move on to bigger projects. Exercise and play daily. Go outside, get that natural vitamin D sunlight, take your kids or your grandkids out, play with chalk or ride a bike. Enjoy the outside and the fresh air. Know your strengths. Know the areas that you are strong in, that you know you can complete, and maybe ask for help in the areas that you struggle in. If you need help with anything around your house, or help with your kids, don't be afraid to ask someone to help you. But also set boundaries. Sometimes we have someone who's constantly coming to us because they like the advice that we give, or, they know that we're just that person who's not going to say no. Learn to set your boundaries, learn to say no, learn to tell them that you don't, you love them, but you just need a minute to yourself, and, maybe we can talk tomorrow. Talk to a good friend. Call somebody that you trust, and somebody that you know will genuinely listen to you, and have a conversation. Enjoy that conversation with them. Maybe have a cry session. And of course, laughter is always the best medicine. Put on a TV show or a movie that you know will give you a good belly laugh and help you to reduce your stress levels. This slide here is just a fact about single parents. Among all other ethnic groups, Native American female-headed families with children had the highest poverty rates. So why is this? When we're single parents, we don't have that other parent to help us, pick up around the house, make dinner at night, pick up the kids from childcare. We don't have that extra person to help us pay bills, to help us when the kids are sick or when we're sick. We don't, having that extra person sometimes can be a huge help. And so when we don't have that and we're single parents, it becomes more stressful. We take on more, we carry the weight of the world, sometimes it feels like, on our shoulders. And so we struggle. We struggle to get the kids to childcare, to get to work on time. We struggle to pay our bills. Sometimes we have to sit down and look at our bills and decide which ones are going to be paid and which ones are going to be put on the back burner. And sometimes it's difficult. It is very difficult for single parents. But among all other ethnic groups, Native American female headed families had the highest poverty rate. This is absolutely heartbreaking. So what can I do for myself? Take quiet time before bed to read a book or meditate. Ask a friend or family member to watch the baby or the kids while you take a walk. Sometimes we just need a moment to ourselves. Sometimes walking around the block and just getting the fresh air will help us clear our mind a little. And when we walk back inside, it'll be easier to deal with whatever, is going on in our home at the moment. Treat yourself to a night out once a month or a date night with your significant other. Sometimes we just need that night out, away from the home, away from the bills, away from the worries, and just to enjoy, even some ice cream or a cup of coffee, just a night out. Take a walk during your lunch break. Once you've finished eating, if you have a few minutes to spare, go outside and get some sunlight, take a walk, and clear your head a little bit before you have to return back to your desk. Here are some resources. The California Riverside County Helpline is a community connect and crisis intervention line that will help you with support for survivor services that include grief support for individuals that have lost someone to suicide. They are also connected with 211 that can help with additional services throughout Riverside County. There's also the Suicide Prevention Lifeline. If you or a loved one is struggling or having thoughts of suicide or in crisis, please call 1-800-273-8255. There are also 3 mental health urgent cares in Riverside County. Mental health urgent cares are clinics that deal specifically with mental health only. They are not doctor's offices, but they have licensed clinicians on site that can help. There's one in Riverside, Palm Springs, and Paris. And there's the CARES line, which is 1-800-706-7500. This is a number for Medi-Cal and IHP recipients that are looking for behavioral health services. And then, of course, there's Riverside, San Bernardino County Indian Health at 1-800-732-8805. That 800 number will connect you to any one of our clinics. Thank you for joining us for the self-care presentation. I hope you have a great rest of your day.